If you go to prison, you're going to find out real quick that there is no political correctness in prison. Like the language that we use, and it's not even offensive, it's just how it works. So I'll give you an example. When I first got to the prison in Victorville, California, we were all in a big orientation room, and they put the bigger girls on the bottom and the smaller girls on the top. So, these bunks were really skinny and really tall, so it was kind of scary to sleep on top. So I end up being up above my bunkie, who's a bigger white girl. And one day, another bigger white girl walks over and takes a handful of her potato chips and just walks off and eats them. Well, that's kind of odd behavior because in prison, like I had learned, I'd been in a higher security prison. You don't just take people's food without asking. And I said, "Hey, what's up with that?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'm not going to make nothing of that." And I said, "Well, it's kind of disrespectful." And she goes, "Yeah," she goes, "she's got that crazy in her eyes. There's no way I could take her. She can have the potato chips," which kind of surprised me because my bunkie had kind of the crazy in her eyes too. Well, a few days later, we got called over to the lieutenant's office, and they grouped us up in like all the new people, 14 people in one and 12 or 14 people in the other group. So in my group, my bunkie, who's the bigger white girl, she like decides she's going to take over the leadership role, and she starts telling people what to do, and everyone's still just doing what they want. They want us to pick up all these little rocks, put them in buckets, and move them about 15 feet over. And my bunkie turns around, she goes, the problem with this group is there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. So we all stop for a second because there's like 4 native girls in our group. We look at each other for about 5 seconds, and then they just bust up laughing, and I bust up laughing because it's so inappropriate. And my bunkie's like, "What's going on?" Like she doesn't even get it, right? So that's the kind of stuff politically incorrect. Like the officers would come up and say, "Where's so-and-so?" And they say, the white girl or the black girl or the bigger girl or the smaller girl. They're just nobody, it's just identifiers. Nobody takes offense. Well, a few days later, they call us back over to the lieutenant's office, and they have us pick up all those rocks and move them right back where they started, which I thought was kind of disrespectful because instead of giving us a real job, they were just trying to keep us busy. And that kind of stuff happens all the time in prison.